in mind that what we're really trying to do is teach you guys how to be better witnesses. Okay, so ultimately that's what we're going for. We'll go ahead and get started on some stuff. In the middle, if anybody's got any questions, you just catch my attention. Generally speaking, it's pretty simple stuff. First thing what we got to understand is, even though we live in a pretty nice town, you know, it's as hard as it is to believe. You know, criminal activity can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be New York City or Los Angeles or whatever for stuff to happen. Even some big stuff, even some bad stuff occasionally. Okay? So, but what we're actually doing here tonight is we're going to talk a lot more about theft-related crimes. We'll talk about vandalism-related crimes. And we'll go over some of the stuff that the police department looks for and what we need from you to make sure that we do get not only good witnesses, but we get the information we need for prosecution so that we can get them over to the prosecutor's office and we can ultimately get them in court. And then we get convictions and we can lock our ideas up. That's what we're going to do. Okay? So, to understand what's going on, there's three elements necessary for a crime to occur. Okay? And I'm going to speak very generally. Okay? We may talk a little bit about specifics and stuff in a little while, but for right now, we'll just talk about a little bit of criminal activity. Okay? There's three elements necessary for a crime to occur. First of all, it has to be an opportunity. Okay? These guys that are doing this stuff are out looking for an easy opportunity. That's what they want. They're looking for a good, easy victim. They don't want to fight for this stuff. They don't want to have to go in and have to break in stuff like you see on these TV shows and these movies and stuff. These guys are like these expert burglars and stuff. We've seen this with like cracking safes and they're listening and stuff. Maybe somewhere, not around here, right? So what they are doing is they're looking for doors that are unlocked. They're looking for windows that are unlocked. They're looking for easy targets, garage doors, and so on and so forth, that type of thing. Okay? So the more accessible you make yourself to crime, the more likely you're going to be a victim of crime. Okay? So we've got to keep that in mind. So if opportunity is the first thing, a garage door left open, a window, inadequate lighting, any kind of thing like we talked about, like a lot of times we get these calls from the police department. This is what we hear. A suspicious person, and this is what dispatch says. You guys may tell them something completely different, but by the time they hear from you to get it to me, it probably will change. Okay? So here's what happens. Suspicious person in 2500 block of South whatever street. Okay? Okay, so we go to the 2500 block of South whatever street, and there'll be 2 to 3 of us go. Okay? And we get there, we're looking around, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we shine our lights everywhere, we'll just kind of look around. I even know you can turn my lights off, cruise up and down the alleys, do stuff like that, look for people. But either way, these guys do this to them. Hide behind some bushes, something at your house, right? So keep in mind, anything that could be a hiding place around your house is just an easy to make. Ultimately, it makes yourself even an easier victim because we can't physically get out and just walk around every house. You know, and of course, it's locked. Sometimes it'll be nice to do that, but the truth of the matter is sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 of these calls pending at a time. So we have to kind of do the best that we can with the resources that we have. At any given time, in the city of Ironton, there's 2 to 3 officers available. Okay? In cities that are approximately twice our size, there's as many as 15 or 20. So, and you kind of got an idea, we're working with a little bit less than a lot of these bigger agencies are, but we still kind of do the best we can. So this is your way to help us out. Don't make yourself easy for opportunity. Keep your doors locked. Keep your windows locked. Don't leave anything of value in your car. We'll say that again. Do not leave anything of value in your car. I don't care if it's a cell phone charger, if it's a watch, something that looks like a wallet, anything whatsoever that appears to be of value in your car. If they think it's of value, they're going to get it. I promise. Okay? We have taken as many, gosh, I don't even want to say, I'm going to say 20 or 30 reports in the course of the night before we from vehicles being broken into. Well, if those kind of numbers, you think, man, there's 20 or 30 cars that they busted. No. There's 20 or 30 cars that the cars, the doors were left unlocked, and they left their laptop in the car. Man, talk about making an easy opportunity, right? So let's keep in mind, anything of value does not be left in the vehicle ever, okay? Even if you're just going to run in your house for 5 minutes, take everything of value in your vehicle with you.
What about your truck?
Well,
Yeah.
anything that they can see, you know what I mean? If they can see it and they're walking by, you know, I've actually caught them before. And all they're doing is they're walking down the street and checking locks. And then they find it open. And they're on it, boy. They're completely on it, okay? The second thing is the ability. They have to have the ability to do so. That's where the lock comes in. If they know they can get in there and they can get to what's there, you got the opportunity, you've got a vault up to your car. The ability is you've got your door unlocked, right? The second second thing is desire. They have to know that there's something there that they want, and they have to have what we refer to in law enforcement as criminal intent. You know, I describe criminal intent as this. If I'm walking down the hallway at the mall, and I accidentally bump shoulders with somebody, is that assault? Absolutely not. That's an accident. It doesn't happen on purpose, right? However, the same scenario walks down the mall and some guy just hauls off and punches me in the face. He had criminal intent to hurt me. His intention was to break the law and to hurt me. Okay? So all that being said, keep in mind where the ability, desire, and the opportunity come in. When those 3 things happen, you can potentially have a problem. Okay? What we want to do is we want to make sure that you guys know how to not be victims. Okay? We also want to teach you guys, ultimately through these programs, to be good witnesses, to learn how to communicate with each other to be effective. Okay? I can tell you this, I'm not going to go into this a lot, but a lot of the reason that you guys are here right now is because of the recent issues with the tire splashes and stuff, right? I'm sure a lot of you. Okay? The very first thing that I got was a message on Facebook with a name. I'm not going to release that name, but we're real close. It's coming. Okay? We're going to catch it. Okay, so because of that, because of this program right here that you guys are involved in right now, we're probably going to have this guy. Okay? So, you know, that's a big thumbs up for this program. That's absolutely big. The first thing that I'm going to actually recommend for you guys to consider is get to know your neighbors. How many of you right now, by show of hands, can actually tell me everybody that lives, you know, 1 block area of your house and know their first names?
We knew everybody from everybody.
There it is. Okay.
4 or 5.
Ultimately, what we want to do is for everybody in here to go and say, yeah, I do this. I know everybody in 1 block area. Right? Because if you can know them, you guys kind of get to know what's going on, know what kind of stuff they got, you know when their vehicles are there, when they're not there, when they're supposed to be. You know, I've used this actual term a lot in these meetings, and it's kind of become kind of a regular saying, but we are not asking you guys to be nosy neighbors. We're asking you to be very observant. I want you guys to know what's going on in the neighborhood. Because if you guys can't tell me what's normal, how am I supposed to know? Right? If you think of it that way. I don't necessarily live there, right? So I go there, there's a pickup truck in the driveway. Well, it's registered to somewhere in Kentucky. Okay. So now I'm alerted because it doesn't appear to be there normally. I run the tag, I put a little bit of time to it. Next thing I know, the guy comes out and says, hey, it's my brother. Okay. However, if you guys know, and you guys know that truck is not his brother because you've never seen that there before, it's out of the norm, right? And he calls and says, listen, I'm part of the Neighborhood Watch program. That truck's not ever there. He's supposed to be out of town. He's at Myrtle Beach or whatever. You know, I know what's going on because he and I have discussed this. He told me he was going out of town. I know what's going on. And that truck's not supposed to be there. Now, I have what we refer to as a reasonable suspicion. Now I truly have enough room without violating somebody's civil rights. I have enough room to really go and investigate this without stepping on anybody's toes and do anything illegal. Okay? So keep in mind, if you know your neighbors and you can understand their habits, And I'm not saying get in their business, but there is a way to do it. If you get to know each other and you get to understand basic patterns. Well, you know, my neighbor Bill, he gets off work about 5 o'clock. He works over at, you know, what's McCall? He's off work at 5 o'clock. He's home by 20 after 5, and I see him every evening and say, hey, what's going on, Bill? You know, well, you also know that at 4 o'clock, unless Bill called off work or something, you know that house is normally there. So if you look over there and the front door standing open, it just can't really make sense. It may be worth a call. You understand something that's broke a pattern, something that doesn't appear to be right. It's worth us looking into. Worst case scenario, we get there and Bill says, hey man, I got sick work. And I appreciate you guys coming, right? Not the end of the world. Okay?
It's funny you mentioned that, Howard, because I haven't seen your cruiser in like months in front of your house, but every time I in the morning when I get up and look at my computer, I'm being pulled in, I haven't seen you for months.
I don't work midnights anymore.
But your convoy is never there when you
Yeah, I just leave, right now we're a little bit short on cruisers.
Oh, so you're not, see, I'm getting up on that.
The next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about start the program with connection. So we'll explain to you a little bit about what's going on there, okay?
Calling the bigger cars.
If you can get to know your neighbors, here's what I recommend doing. Anybody who's interested in being involved in this program, I hope every single one of you will, because I can promise you this. My main objective is to teach you guys how to be good witnesses and help us put these guys in jail. Okay? We are not trying to create vigilantes. Okay? We do not want you going out and approaching anybody that's doing anything suspicious. We do not want you going out and trying to engage somebody or do something and possibly create conflict. Let us do it every single time. Okay? Believe it or not, there is a way to do it without taking a chance of getting somebody hurt, or at least lessen the chances of somebody getting hurt. And we are trained to be able to do that type of stuff without being so offensive and some the average person on the street that you walk up to and you're a blue jeans and say, hey man, what's going on? Maybe go to confrontation. But when we arrive, we're in uniform, the cruiser and everything, sometimes it's a little more, yes sir, I understand what's going on. Okay? So just keep in mind, if you see somebody doing something, you never know who this guy is. This guy could be some crazy felon from Texas or California that's way off and he's out here doing something, he's high on drugs, he's acting silly, and you don't know it. At least when we go there, we're wearing body armor, we're carrying guns. Okay? So we've got a way to be able to defend ourselves and you and your property and everything else. Okay? So keep in mind, let us deal with these guys. We know what it takes to get these guys lawfully and put them in jail without violating their rights or ruining the case. That's what we got to do. We got to put together a good, strong case so that we can get them in jail. Okay? We need block captains. Block captains for this. If somebody's going to take an initiative within your area, within your own little section of your community, that's going to actually take the initiative to say, I'm going to take over this program. I'm going to print the flyers up. I'm going to go out and shake hands and let everybody know in my neighborhood that we're going to have a meeting at my house, or if you have access to someplace with seating or however you want to do it. But I'm going to be the one kind of grab the idea and run with it. That's what a block captain's going to do. Okay? In return, the block captain can work with me. Since we started this program, we've worked with several different people that's been involved specifically with block captains and stuff like that, and wants to do more. But what we do is, if you have something, a block captain has something that's maybe not an emergency, call dispatch. Okay? If you don't have the number to the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, you can dial 911. Okay? We are dispatched to the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, and any emergency issues that may come up, you can call the dispatch force. But if it's not an emergency, and you just want to be able to pass on some information, a private message to me on Facebook, and I can do a lot with it. Okay? Sometimes we can take those little private messages, put them together. I forward them to detectives. I've called road officers before and say, hey, it's not an emergency, but if you got time, one of my citizens watch people send a message to me and said this, can you check it out? Yeah, man, give me just a few minutes, I'm getting gas or whatever on it. Okay? So it allows you a direct line right back to the police department. That's what Citizens Watch was all about. I don't know if any of you guys seen the news stuff yesterday, but, you know, when we were doing that, they asked me, you know, what about the criminal getting revenge? Well, I know. You know, because the truth of the matter is, if they see that we're watching, and it's not just my set of eyes, they have to avoid this all your eyes. There will be a lot less after the jump in and start stealing stuff there. If they know that if I mess up in this neighborhood, all these nosy people in this neighborhood are always watching. Right? Think about it. If everybody's watching, it takes a lot of desire out of people a lot of times, right? So that's the good thing about getting these programs together. Block captains communicate with me, with the police department. If you set up meetings as block captains, we'll come back to this in a minute, once we explain block captains a little more. If you want to set up meetings, if I'm available, I work evening shift right now, but my schedule does change occasionally. If I'm available to show up at your meeting, we have road coverage, and I'm working, I'll stop by. If I'm not working and nothing's going on, and she's not going into labor or something like that by that time, then by all means, then we'll come by, come to your house, okay? And I can help you get some stuff going, okay? We've already talked about learning the vehicles in the neighborhood. Does everybody in your code know the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office? If I was to tell you right now, call Lawrence County Sheriff's Office dispatch, how many of you did my show hands?
I think it's on a refrigerator.
Speak that.
We should have there.
It's area code 740-532-3525. Okay, if you got a cell phone, put it in there. If not, whatever you got to do to remember that. Or ultimately dial 911. Okay? We do not have a dispatch center or service set up in Ironton anymore. We're dispatch to the sheriff. Okay? So if you want IPD, that's who you got to call. Okay? So call Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, you can get us. Our main objective in neighborhood watch is this. Okay? We want you guys, the old adage of buy four and no more has got to come over. You got to kind of quit just worrying about what's going on in your own properties and making sure these little things take care of my stuff. And you got to develop a relationship with people around you and vice versa. Okay? We need you guys to look out for one another and ultimately let us know what's going on. Believe it or not, we can get a lot done if we all work together. We are got a lot of good things going on in this town right now. We got the new bridge coming in, we got some new businesses. There's going to be some nice things that we have. We want to take care of them. We want to protect them. If we can make this town clean, nice, and neat, watching over everybody's stuff, we can get more businesses in here, we can also get more things to do, more money, revenues in our town, and it just starts a cycle. We can just keep growing and getting things going. And I'm sure the mayor would be really happy to agree with that. But that's how we got to do this. If we can get it to the point where we can have a positive look at the community, low crime rates, with good things going on, these businesses are going to want to come in and get in here, and we got new jobs, we got better opportunities for people that are involved. It starts everything off. It's got to start right here, this type of stuff. If you're going to be out of town, and this is a lot, because I have to tell you this. If you're going to be out of town for an extended period of time, for instance, you're going to go to Myrtle Beach. I said that 3 times. It's going to the beach. If you want to go out of town, then make sure your neighbors know. Make sure the people that you can trust in your area, if you're good people that are around you that you know will keep a good eye on your stuff, let them know. Call the police department. Let us know. Let us know. If you can contact, leave a message for myself. You can leave a message with the chief of police or whoever, and just kind of give us a heads up. Hey, I'm going to be out of town, and such. This is my address. These are the vehicles that are supposed to be there. Anybody else isn't. You know, and then we know if there's anything out of place. Your neighbors know if anything's out of place. Okay. A big thing to remember: make your house unoccupied.